So you know, I'm starting from beginning itself, whatever it is there. See, I'm again coming back to the configuration part for the payroll. As I said, first to activate the time evaluation. In the time evaluation, you have to check the 3 tables. So first one is automatic actual is nothing but auto actual is nothing but the actual will happen basing on the time evaluation. Time evaluation is the program RP time 00, that is PT60. We have a standard program for that. So here is the table. Actually, when you do the configuration, we remember the same thing. When you configure, generally by default it will be in no generation. Okay, if you put it in increase, okay, whenever your quota will generate, it will increase that number. If I take replace, it will replace the number. Okay, so whenever you want to generate the time quota through time evaluation, here we are going to discuss about generation of time quota through time evaluation. Okay, rest of the things we will discuss later. So if you put it in increase, the system will understand that it should generate this particular time quota 10, and leave should generate through time evaluation.
Krishna, before going to the next step, yesterday you showed us how to add, from some particular date till 31 2014, I think you made it as no generation.
There are two things actually. See, if you are into a scratch project, which is starting, from the implementation level, there is no personal area, personal sub area, everything you are going to create. Okay, directly you can create these things without any change. Let us say in a company, let us say payroll was implemented, but time evaluation was not implemented. They are using RPTQTA program to generate quotas and all this stuff. Let us say from particular point of time you have a go-live date for the time, time evaluation implementation. So then let us say I will catch up another record. Let us say this is the time type, for example, quota type. If you want to implement from current month, say 1st of August is your go-live date. How you have to do the configuration? Let us say we'll go for a record which is in. See, if you go for this record, this particular quota will generate means through PA30 or through time RP time RP TQT. Okay, so now you want to make this automated, like automated in sense through time evaluation. It should generate. What you have to do is you have to copy this, or you have to delimit this from your go-live date. Let us say 0108. What it will do is a new record will create from the particular date, and the previous record will delimit. Then you have to select increase now. So what time evaluation will do is whatever the records are there, existing records before this date, it won't disturb. It will be open.
Okay, I got it. Actually, I tried out the system by clicking on copy. It was not allowing. So we have to click on delimit.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my doubt. Thank you, Krishna.
So if you go here again, this one we have done, right? If you see, this is from 1st of August. It is telling increase. If you select this and if you say expand, it will show the old one also. So old one was limited up to 31st/7 with no time evaluation.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
This is one of the cutover plan when you are implementing time evaluation from mid. If it is a scratch, you can give the same date, no issue. But this is one of the things we have to take care with the configuration. The other thing is base entitlement. So here, this is for negative time management. If you want to generate some number, through the usual process, what you already, trained and you are working. And these two fields are given for, our time evaluation program. You can use either of the things. You can generate the quota basing on day balance or basing on period balance. Period balance is nothing but if it is weekly payroll, this time type will be, we have to store in Salado table. That's what the tables will come. So we have a day balance, table in the time evaluation, that is ZES, and which will store the time type, and the period balance will store in Salado table with the time type. So whenever the time type is generate, if you put here, when there is a entry in the ZES table, your quota will generate. When you put here, when there is entry in Salado table for the particular time type, then only the quota will generate. Whatever the number, the time type will exist. As I mentioned yesterday, time type is nothing similar to wage type, but in the wage type we can store at a time rate, amount and number, and in the time type we can store only HRS. Okay, that is the number. So whatever the number, it will stored when you generate the time evaluation through our PCRs. And if you are pushing to month balance table, that is Salado table, you have to configure in this field. If you want to use day balance table, you have to give it here. So this is the yes. Who is this? Yes. Yeah. HRS. HRS. Hours. By default, SAP had given hours, means it is not exactly hours, right? See, you will be having RTE rate, HRS in AMT, RTE, and NUM in waste time. Okay, so here there is a field called HRS. So the HRS field you can store 10, and when you are passing, you will tell the system it is 10 hours or it is 10 days. That is based on your configuration, right? In your configuration itself, you are telling it is days or hours. So the number will come from the time type. So finally, you can, you can say it is a number. So we'll just go to time type table again. Which I created yesterday. Right, this is the time type I created. Going to new entries. Okay, I have given the PCR grouping as 01. That that is the time evaluation grouping in the configuration. If I want to show that, we will go there and we will come back. This is the time evaluation. We have time evaluation setting with a grouping. So just remember, when you are configuring time evaluation, there are several groupings. When you get time, work schedule grouping, absence grouping, absence quota grouping will be there. Okay, and this is time recording grouping. So whatever the time type you are creating, whatever the grouping you are giving to your particular personal area and sub area, that will come into the picture. Okay, here I didn't specify my own grouping. Why? Because there are several related tables with standard waste types will be available in standard system with grouping 01. When you are going for a implementation, for those I think 3 tables will be there. Those tables we have to copy all the entries what are there in the standard, and we have to copy to our grouping. So without that, I am telling that we will go to all the tables which is required when we have to copy this thing. So now I am taking standard grouping, that is 01. Here the example table is only this one. If you see, all these entries here in the T555A, that is the table where we will create the time type. If you see, all these time types are standard waste types. There are many SAP standard waste types which will be storing the data and executing the things within the standard payroll program. There are several waste types. So all these waste types we have to copy and we have to give our specific group. Right? If you say there are several things for different purposes. So when you want to create a grouping, yes, time type. When you want to create, your own PS grouping, the activity what we will do is we will take a dump of this, we will put it in Excel, we will change the grouping, then we will update this table. Okay, if you go for if you are creating say some 60 or let us say 40, I don't think no time type is available for country grouping 40. Means it's not country grouping actually. If you are thinking that 40 is your number, because if you are implementing for India, or 10 is your number if you are going for US, so there won't be any entries. So what you have to do is, there are few tables, 555Z, 555Y, and this 555A. These tables, what we will do is, what we will copy. I will show you few of the errors once this was done. If we change the time evaluation group, what errors you will get, right? So in the initial stage, you can work on 01, so that all the standard wastage will be available for time evaluation grouping 01. So that's all from the configuration side. But in the time tab, what we have done, see, these are the characteristics of the time tab. So you have these things save as day balance. So whatever the time tab you are telling, it will store for the particular day. Okay, if you are telling it should not store, it won't be formed as day balance. So whenever the time evaluation, when we are running, it will run day and day. So that's why it should store on only for that particular day, or it should accumulate to the period balance table. Okay, it should transfer to from the period, all these things. If you put 1, it will form the balance. If you put 0, it won't form. So what here I required is, because in the configuration table, if you remember, we have given in the day balance as per our configuration. In the base entitlement table, what we have mentioned here is day balance. So here I am taking this time type as day balance time type. Why I have taken this and what we are going to work on this, that we will get when you know run the time evaluation. And moreover, I think yesterday we have some issues. Even somebody asked about PCL2, PCL1, PCL something like that, right? Database thing. I think Shweta, you asked this, right? Actually, it is a database admin work, and it's a standard database. Okay, we are not going to do anything on that, but we should know generally means what PCL will store. If you go to SC16 N or SC16, the cluster table will display like this. Even I can't understand what this table stores, right? This is the database admin. There is a cluster table. This is, so whenever we run the program, these tables will update and these table will display the results in the front end for us.
So
Right?
PCL2 same as V2 cluster, is it?
Again, within PCL, you have a cluster B2. Okay, within this one you have a cluster B1.
Okay.
Okay, so something like that. I think many fields are there. Okay, again is a cluster. Okay, so there are, that concept is not at all our HR part, first thing. And the other thing is, it's a database management, whatever the database they are using, if they are using, Oracle or HANA or whatever it is, but this is the structure within SAP. What they will do is, whatever the database they are using, these tables, this is the database tables of SAP. So these tables they will store in the storage points or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, every day they will take backup of these tables. If something went wrong here, we can get those tables from the storage point, and we can update these tables. Such kind of process will go whenever they are migrating or such kind of things. But it is not at all the part of our HR consultant, okay, or ABAP consultant. No way link, and you can't understand what exactly these lines or something what they are doing. But you have to know few of the things. For yesterday issue, right? We have faced something for one employee. For that, there are few programs. Only these programs will run, at implementation level. Whenever in the production server, let us say production server or quality server, if you are running live program with a wrong data or something like that, the database tables will be created. So when you are going for a new implementation from scratch, what we will do is we will clear these cluster tables. If you see, I will show you. Let us say, I think this is what it is. This program is display and delete individual records from PCL1, right? In this, there is a cluster called B1 in PCL1. Okay, so today I error generated something. Okay, likewise the clusters will form. Okay, even what we have to do is for the particular employee we have to delete the cluster table.
So when you delete this, the absence quota generated will also get deleted?
No, this is backend database. Don't integrate anything to SAP. This is not at all direct SAP. If you have database inconsistency, what you will do is you have to report to your basis guy, because you don't be given all these authorizations. You don't have right to delete the cluster. Whenever you got these issues, you have to report to your basis team and you have to explain these are the things we are getting. So SAP, you have to raise a call to SAP. SAP will tell that there is a database inconsistency or here. So please clear so and so records will be. Then only you have to attend.
Okay.
Okay. That is SA 38, and this is the program. If you go for Google and if you type how to delete time cluster or these things, immediately you will get, because these things hardly we will use, very rarely. We won't use this many times, right? So don't concentrate on this more, but I will show you what the basis team will do generally. I think first I won't delete. I will see which records we have to delete. So we want to delete for the particular employee, right? This employee. Only one record will be there for this. The two things today I have done. Your username will be the password, and if you delete, couple of times you have to press delete. That's what it was deleted. If you search again, there won't be any valid record. And if you go to the second program, that is 1D and 2D we have. So what this will do is, this will delete database from PCL2. Here there will be many records. You can see the program which we are running, time evaluation program, and all the records. So there is an inconsistency in these records. So after running this time evaluation, I done several changes in the configuration and all this stuff. Right, groupings also I changed in between, person sub area grouping. So every time I will do the live run, so database, obviously there will be an inconsistency. So what we have to do is select this key. What are the records you want to delete? Right, these records I am going to delete, which is created by me itself. I think yesterday we run one thing. Okay, today I run one. There is another program actually we have to set which can delete in one go, but
Krishna, PCL2 even contains results also, right? This database.
what happened?
PCL2 also has payroll results, right?
PCL2 is not a single table. That's what. First we have to go to database admin mode. how the tables will bifurcated, how the data will store, and all this stuff is a different concept. ECL2 is a space which will be storing n number of clusters in that. So that can be from payroll, that can be from a different program, that can be from anywhere.
So if we delete from here, the payroll results will not get deleted, right?
We can't assure.
It might get deleted.
Yes.
Okay.
That depends on the program. Let us say if you can check with your program. If it is from
Okay.
HN, RP, payroll program, definitely it will. So that is why whenever you are deleting the database thing, we will raise a call to SAP. They will check and they will tell the, record numbers, these should be deleted or something like that, then we will delete. Or else if you are confident on the record, what you have to delete, you can delete.
See, now whatever you're deleting, it is from RP time 00.
And
That,
formed by
uh,
me only.
yeah, does it delete the time types also, whatever has been generated?
Yes, of course. We are going to do that also, no?
Okay.
Because time types anyhow we are going to generate again when you run the time evaluation, it will regenerate.
Okay. So only the quota generated will not get deleted. Rest all will get refreshed.
Yes. Is it deleting? How many records delete? Actually, this is not our work. Okay, whenever you are doing, don't try to do many times. Even if you do in, this IDS server, let us say if you deleted some irrelevant records, somebody will face some issues. If you are deleting, time related data, that is a part okay, but if you are deleting payroll related data, then it will be a waste. So this is the part up to know, up to where we should have some knowledge. Even if you have zero knowledge on this, also no issues. If data inconsistency, if standard PCR, yesterday what we have done, we are running, time evaluation for this employee basing on this schema. Same thing is coming still. Twenty leaves are getting generated more. We'll do one thing. I will check this later. Unnecessary, we are, why it is coming. We will continue with this, the basic part. We will check with the same employee yesterday which we checked, and I will, debug this, and I will let you know why it was coming. So up to configuration part, everything is clear, right? For everybody? On the time types. I think I have shown the three important points. One is generation, of quotas, increase and decrease, right? Second one is base entitlement, and third one is generation rule. So I think generation rule we skip maybe. And I will show you that PCR groupings also. So we have to remember in the generation rule, it should be in daily, that is the actual period tab. Base entitlement, it will be there anyhow. No need to do anything over here. And in the actual, you should be in no prorated. Apart from that, no changes are there when you are doing the configuration. Everything will be in the, whatever you are doing for remaining quotas, the same configuration you can do. Right? Yeah, that's where I am going. See, everybody knows when how to create a wage tag. Generally, when you do the basic configuration for the payroll, where we will go to personal administration, payroll data, basic pay, then you have the first node called this is the table. You want to note, or this is the general configuration table. Mandatorily we have to do. If we didn't done this, you won't get any output for the normal run also. So here what it will be here, this is the PCR grouping. Whatever the PCR you are giving for the particular employee subgroup who relates to the employee group, you can bifurcate the things. Okay, and here you have to use this. See, if you go to F1, what here it is telling, it is use, means you have to use the standard one. These are the use. One is like this, two is like this, three is like this, right? So if you go to CAP grouping, it is one of the pay scale element. If you remember, here they are telling examples. So you can change this. These are the examples SAP had given. So whatever you want, you can do, because it's straightforward configuration. CAP, based on the CAP grouping, you will do all the configuration for the pay scale element. If you remember, in the configuration, we have 5 elements in pay scale structure. So this is one of the elements.
Krishna, just one basic doubt in band 1, what you have selected. What if we have salaried employees as well as hourly wage earners? Do we have to group them as two separate subgroups?
See, band 1 is here.
Yeah.
Okay, with non-management, right? My employees which I created, remaining is not part of mine. So here I am telling these non-management employees are daily wage earners. So I am telling that they will be paid hourly base. How many hours they work, that many hours they will get. But these are the salaried employees. That is for monthly salary.
Mm-hmm. So if we are writing a common rule for both of them, so in the first node where we select this PCR, we
That's
have to
right.
write B as well as 1, right?
Yes. There you can
Okay.
bifurcate. Here in our example, that is for related to some quota we are writing. So that is, see, in the very first PCR, if I explain with more logs, bifurcations, you can't understand anything.
Okay. So instead of
Here
putting start,
we are going to use all this stuff for a complex PCR.
okay.
Try to understand what the PCR we are writing with the basic thing. Then I am telling that is PCR grouping. We will work on that. Then only you can understand.
Okay, sure.
Right? We will run for two employees, which relates to M as well as N. Then you will understand how the rule was bifurcated. Okay,
Okay.
if we are writing something related to overtime or something, it should go to only N. It should not go to M. So then we will bifurcate the PCRs. We are going to work on several PCRs in our scenario. Try to understand the basic structure of the PCR. So once you are, you attempted to write small PCR with one line or two lines, and if you are getting the output, you will understand the, we have to understand the flow of the PCR, how data was passing, how process was happening with your own logic, and how you are getting the output. Okay. Everywhere in input, there, you have a table. In the process, you have your PCR. In output, again, you have a table. So basing on that, you can understand the tables also. Right, up to here, I think this is okay. I can continue again.
Yes, please proceed.
Okay. So I am coming out of configuration. If you have any queries on configurations, let me know. So related to time evaluation, there is no further configuration. We have to work going to PCR. So you want me to write a new PCR, or we will work on the PCR which I have written yesterday, or we will delete that and we will create. We will do one thing, we will delete this and we will create.
Krishna,
Yep. Yes.
this is Mano. While creating that PCR, could you please go a little bit slow and tell me each and everything? Yesterday you went very fast.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
That's
I
what
mean,
I am repeating. That's
I
why.
didn't understand at all. You mentioned ADT and all these things, and you mentioned
That's why I
asterisks.
am coming back. I will be slow today. Don't worry. See, initially, you are going to write a PCR. So you have to create a PCR. So this is the attributes of the PCR. First you will mention a text. So there are standard program class. We have to tell which program it should run. You are selecting time management. Your RP time 00 will consider this particular thing. When you are telling time evaluation, the country grouping should be star. It is for all countries. Okay, and person responsible, it will come our user ID. If you check this, only if you log in with this user ID, then only you can edit this PCR. So this is clear, I hope, right?
Yes.
So this is what the first node will come when you create a PCR, even it is time or payroll, right? So if you say give star, and if you are not giving anything in the configuration table, if you put 1, 3, 2, whatever you put, it will go, it will treat as star. Okay, let us say if you want to bifurcate the rule, see, we will get when you are creating, here is the create option. I think I have to tell from here. I hope that is what you are a bit see. Here is the create button, so I am going to create. You will get only single node, that is the default thing for SAP PCR structure. So you will get a single node. Here you can bifurcate the people. Here I am taking example like 1 and 3. Right? See, 1 is for industrial workers. Let us say for industrial workers there is no quota. Okay. So this is purely related to our configuration. Our PCR will go here and it will read. If you are going for 1 and you want to some rule, again you have to create. You will get this block. If you tell the same level, there is a block created in the same level. You can give some other thing. You don't require, delete. So when you are creating here, see here, we are going to work on CAP grouping 3 for salaried employees. Say I am saying create and I am taking it as sublet. So when you create the second node, see, this is the first level zone and this is the second one. So in the second one, whatever it is coming, it is a time type. Okay, if you are writing a PCR related to, if you are calling the numbers from there is a table called time pairs in the time evaluation. Let us say there is a clock in entry and clock out entry from say 8 to 9 for 1 hour. The 1 hour will be stored in a table called TA. Okay, let us say if you are writing a PCR to call that number, where the time type, it will store a time type also in that pair. So if you are writing some logic on particular time type, then you can bifurcate like this. If this is the time type in the time pair, then you follow this logic. If not, you can follow some other logic. Okay, many times it won't happen to bifurcate on the time type, but we have some other scenarios where we can bifurcate like this. In future, in the coming classes, I will explain how we are going to get those things. But before that, you should know all the process of how it is forming, what is time pair and all this stuff. So we are still in the basic class. So this is the structure here. So here I am not specifying any time type over here, and again I am creating a sublevel over here. Okay, then you will get a actual space to enter some logic. From here our logic will start. There are n number of operations we have given by SAP for time evaluation. So we should be familiar with many of the things. If you tell how I will know what to write over here, we have given with a transaction P04. Okay, here you have an option. Okay, time management, and if you select operation, if you open this, you will get all the operations what are there here. Right? You can, if you want to see what is ADDDB, you can go to the documentation. You can study. If somebody is interested to study more than working, they can go here. They can study each and everything, and it is the accurate documentation. Let us say here I am using this operation HRS. If you go for documentation, it's a bit fuse one. Okay, I will come here. I am putting HRS because I am using this operation. What it will do? I am telling HRS is equal to over here. That is a operator. you go to this screen, see after HRS, if you select this one, first one, you will get all the operators available. These are all SAP standard given. You can use only these things, whatever you want. So equal to and whatever the symbols are there. So I am telling HRS is equal to. That is the operator which we are using. And if you go to the operation HRS1, you will get all the operands available. Okay, after is equal to whatever you are going to write, this 6-digit code, say, this is called as operand. Okay, so these operands, what are available from it, it will start with every letter. What if you put first O, what it will do? It will call something from Saladu table. As I said, there is a table called month balance table and all this stuff. Okay, so we have many letters in the first case. Okay, and you can search all these things. Let us say if you want to see, if you are going to use P, you can click on this. After P again, what you are going to do? If you put HRS is equal to, P num, it will get the number which will be stored in the time pair. So such kind of things are there, which we are, going to write many rules basing on this. So this is the documentation. You can check. So here what I am doing, I am putting C and ZZ001. Okay, so we'll see what I have written over here. See, C is the table. Even we don't know what it was. So see, we went there. We checked the documentation, the constant. This is the 5-digit code from 511K table, right? So whenever you put HRS is equal to, then the next letter C and the constant of 5-digit code which was stored in 511K, that number will be stored in that HRS field. Okay, I think we have, I'm coming back from this documentation, or I will give this. In this table, if you remember, we have created a new constant here, right, with 12. Okay, instead of giving the number directly, I am using this constant to be called over there. If you put this constant, whatever the number you maintain value here, that will be calling to the place of HRS. You got this? Anybody else having anything on this? So HR is, yeah. Where? Here? No. It's the constant table. See, what I am doing here is, I am going here, I am going to new entries. Okay, I am telling, Z. Whatever it is, per year or per month, whatever the text you can give, set work. So this constant, I am not hard coding over there. If you want, you can change in the table level itself. No need to go again to the PCR to put this. So instead of giving this constant, now what I will do, I am putting C and I am telling this constant. So C stands for from, call this constant from 511K table, whatever the number is there. So this HRS, there is an internal field, it will store that 12 into that HRS. For anything, there are thousands things in payroll. Okay, in payroll, if you go here, go and read all the constants available. SAP has itself for bonus percentage, it is there, for EDLA charges, for gratuity limit. You know, wherever the number is coming into picture, there are thousands of constants they are using. If you have similar requirement, you can use this. If not, you can leave it. It is not a big table. Srikanth, you are working on Indian payroll or any other payroll? Okay. So let us say, you know, for child education allowance or child hospital allowance, there is a limit as per statutory, there is a limit maximum of 2. Right? So they had created a constant and they put 2 over here. This constant is using in some other, you know, standard programs. It is not related to PCR schema or something else. Right? We can use it at anywhere. Whenever you can call this table, you can use it at, you are storing a 5-digit code from a start date to end date and you are putting a number. That's it. If you are, let us say, in future, you know, our Indian government had made, say, 4 children to be allowed. You should not, you know, change directly over here. This is a common thing for HR people because everything is based on dates. So you can delimit from which date it is effect, you can change that number. Okay, that is the requirement of data. Apart from nothing is there. Why we are coming here? No, let us say if you are telling 12 leaves, the company policy changed in the next year. They are telling 13 leaves effective from 1st January 2016. So if you change directly, if you are running time evaluation, the previous data will be disturbed, right? So that is why we are going to constants table instead of hot coding something over here. I can give 12 here, but you can't check if something was changed. You should not change here directly. So if you go to constants table, there is an option called if there is a start, you know, and end date for that. Yes. Because I think
Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah.
Krishna, for policy changes, if there is any retro run, it will not take the new data, right? It will still refer to the old record.
That's what I'm telling. If you put 12 over here, right, and later 1 year after something was went means it became as 15. If you change directly here, if it went to retro, then you will see the bug. What will, if for the people when it is going to retro, it will be changing all the data and you will get the wrong data. So that is the reason we should not, you know, hard code the things. When you are implementing a project, there will be an audit by some of the, you know, from SAP or some of the teams like E&Y or something. They will check all these stuff wherever you do the hard coding. SAP won't, you know, prefer to put some numbers directly over here. So that is why we have a table for number called 511K, and for amount you can call it from 511P. If you see, you have the amount and currency as well. This is also the same behavior, nothing will be there, right? So SAP has given 2 tables, and those tables you can call it in, you know, time and payroll as well. right?
Krishna, one
You
more
start
doubt.
creating.
We are
Yes,
using
madam.
operation. We are using operation HRS. Does it mean hours equal to 12 or 12 days?
That's a number. You will tell what it is in the last and in your configuration. It's a
Okay.
number means number. It's a constant, it's a number. We are not done anything, just we are pulling that number first. What to do means we have to write something to that number. We just pull the number, right? And we have to push that number to a time type where exactly it will store. That is the next line we are going to write. So here we'll go back, to this. So what I said is there are some tables when you run the time evaluation, that is day balance and month balance. Here we are today we will discuss only about two tables, that is ZES table and Solid table. Whenever the situation comes, whenever we are working on the scenario, we are going to understand about each and every table. So if I go to a operation, time management operation, we are going to work on this first, this and this. Later this one we will work. What is MB, what is DB? Okay, go to DB, go for documentation. What it will do here, you will be having a clear documentation. What this exactly will do is it will store the data to the day balance table, that is called ZES table. Okay, here if you go operation ADD add the value from the number of hours field, that is called our HRS field. We already stored that HRS field from that constant. So now we are storing this number of hours fields to a time type, okay, to the day balance table. This day balance table was coded as ZES. Okay, these things, instead of going more to the documentation, you put the code, see the output, and then you will be having some clarity on this. ADDDB is the function. We state add the HRS field, whatever the number is there, that to day balance table. To the continuously you have to give the time type, right? Whatever the time type we created, Z901, right? And I will tell you about the Z whenever the situation arises. Whatever the field, there is a empty over here. So because you people are a bit confused if I am telling everything in one go, so we will see how it will go. So I am giving that the whatever the HRS number is there, it should store in a table, that is day balance table, to the time type called Z901. So here you can see that text add to day balance. Right? So this PCR we have to insert somewhere in the schema which we are running in the payroll driver. So before that we have to, when you are inserting a PCR, we have to copy the standard one. We should not change anything in the standard PCR. If you change, let us say if you are using the standard schema which was given by SAP, that is TM04, TM00 or TQTA, whatever the program, whenever the SAP was upgraded, means if you upgraded your patch level or something like that, all these schemas will be upgraded and your whatever the logic you have written inside the standard schemas will be erased. So that is why SAP is telling if you want, you have to copy the standard one which was given by SAP, and you have to put your schemas. I am copying it to ZM64. So this is how we will copy a standard schema. So whatever there in the TM04, all the lines will be copied to your ZM64. Team, just give me 1 minute of time. I will be back. If I am coming to schema, many people will think I have to explain from start to, you want me to explain start to end, right? So it's almost not possible to study. Don't try to, read the schema from start to end. So whatever the topic is there in the block wise, okay, if different groupings is there, it's a complete, complete one scenario. You have to work on the particular requirement on the client. Then you have to go to the particular PCR which is there. It's a, some modifier grouping PCR. It will bifurcate. Means it is for different purpose. So this PCR you will understand when you go to that scenario and you are comfortable with all PCRs and schemas. Okay, here also we in our session, means in our program also we are going to edit all these grouping PCRs and all this stuff. But initially, without having any knowledge, don't try to read each and every function. And if you are really thinking that I can learn like this, it is not at all possible. Many of my friends who trained with me in 2004, they are used to think like that itself, because they are, at the time we are MBA freshers, we used to study many books. Basing on that, we used to write exams. But this is not the process what we have done in MBA or engineering lecture. So here, just remember whatever topic we are discussing, on that topic, what are the relevant PCRs, relevant things are there. From there you have to understand. That is why I have prepared for that purpose only. We have prepared this Excel sheet. So when you cover all the topics, okay, I sure that you will be I will be covering 70% of the schema, right? So our time, whatever the things are there, all these lines, have different functionalities. I will explain few of the things. So say comment function is nothing but the comment line. It's like a header for which purpose, the PCR or the schema is here. Okay, so there will be some functions like begin of installations. There is, if this function is there, all these things are standard things. Okay, and this function will consist of some ABAP programming code which will get the initial data for time management. That is, payroll periods and all these stuff it will get. So there is a grouping PCR, we will discuss later. So like as, this bday function, it will tell it should process every day. So this schema will process every day. It's not related to particular period or such kind of thing. Okay. So here you have, there is a function called check PON. It will check the time management status and it will put as an input table. Then we have a function called if POS, time management status, or such kind of things. Okay. So whatever I am explaining, I am not skipping anything now. But if we have a scenario to use this if function, then I am writing something in front of you. If this is the thing, do like this and all this stuff, then you will understand. If I explain more about each and every function, it is not at all useful to you as well. Sweta, yesterday Chaitanya said he sent already. No?
No, I've not received.
Okay.
It's okay. You can send it after the session.
Okay. So likewise, we have many things. We have functions. When I am closing the session in front of you, I will send this section. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Right. We have several functions like this. So each and every function I will show you, especially which are pulling the data from our info test. What it is doing, it will, the function consists of the code which will provide the attendance data, which will provide the absence data, and all this stuff. Within the time evaluation, I will show you what exactly the difference between positive and negative time management, how the PCR will differ. So that is the extended part. So as of now, if I explain directly the topic also, you won't, you are not able to understand that. When the scenario comes, I will explain the topic. So here where we are is we have to just set for a block begin, which is given for time evaluation. See, this is the line which is the standard rules which were given by SAP. So this block you have to use to generate the quota. So coming to the quota generation, there is a function quota which will generate our absence quota basing on our configuration. If you remember, in the configuration we have given Z901 a time type. If that time type is there in the ZES table, then this will check all the configuration tables and it will generate the quota. And there is another important function relevant to our topic is CUMBT. It will update whatever the PCR you are writing. It will push the data to temporary table, and this function will update to ZES table. That is, it will update the actual table. If you see the text of the things, it will update the balances, what are the time tables and wastage to ZL. Okay, so whatever the PCR we have written is related to generation of quota, and we have to insert here. If you see a if function start or here, if VOP and end if. So there is a condition they have put, if end of the month or not, end of the period or not. If end of the period, this PCR will read. Let us say if you insert somewhere your PCR here, your line won't read. So somewhere above I am inserting, or I will insert just above to CUMBT function. Okay, so I think you should know this. See, I think here somewhere you will get the documentation. See, all this stuff is there in the documentation. If why I am entering, I stands for insert. So D is for delete. So likewise you have many times I will use I, or, and D. Apart from that, even I didn't use many things. So what I am doing here is I want to insert a line, so I am giving I. So after this end if function, I have got a new line to write something over there. So for every PCR, we have to call for calling PCR, we should use a appropriate function. So how there is a function which we regularly use, that is ACTIO, which was given by SAP. How I can explain you. We'll see somewhere in the documentation. So this is the time management function, right? So this function, what it will do is, if you are writing a PCR without calling any time pair tables and these things, especially time pair, time data, so we will use SAP is telling we can use this function to call that PCR. Without a function, your PCR won't call. That is the structure of SAP while you are inserting a PCR into a schema. So let us say if I come here, there will be a function called copy. So what it will do? It will, if it is a copy function, if you want to insert a subschema into a main schema, a schema can consist of subschema also. So if you see, it will copy a subschema. So if you are inserting a subschema in the main schema, let us say if you got say some 10-15 rules you have written for a particular scenario. Instead of inserting all these things here, you can create your own schema. There you can insert all the rules. So that subschema you can insert in the main schema. Okay. So later, if you have any error in the particular scenario, you can go to the subschema and you can check what was happening. In payroll, we are going to create many subschemas only means for tax purpose and all these stuff. Then you will be able to understand what exactly the subschema means, the use of subschema. Okay, so here we are somewhere I had entered the line, right? So here I am using the same function. If you have anything, you go to P04, give the action and go through the documentation. Okay, so then the PCR which we have written is this. The PCR we have written. Okay. Right. So PCR 1. So the parameter 2, parameter 3 and 4 for this particular PCR, it is no use as of now. So don't worry about that. When we are writing a PCR where the use of parameter 2 will come, then I will explain. If I explain parameter 2 requirement, parameter 3 requirement, it is not a specific for anything. If you are using if function, then UOP will come here. Let us say if you put UOP over here, it won't work for us. If you see, it is not allowed. So whenever you are using a function ACTIO, it is not allowed with parameter 3. So there are thousands of functions. If you change the function, the use of parameter 1, 2, 3 will change. Okay. So for this particular function, there is parameter 2, 3, 4, 4 also. 4 anyhow, it is not at all in use. So we will work whenever the requirement comes in our coming scenario. So this is the comment line. If you want to act after writing the line, if you have something wrong with that, instead of deleting, you can comment this. Later you can check what you can do. So it won't read in when you are running the time evaluation driver. This line won't read. So if you want to activate this line, you have to put it as this. So the text for edit. So save it. So the same rule we can run so that you can see our rule what it was exactly doing. Yesterday we have taken 103, right? I will run for only one day, else okay. So test run. Right. So see, there is, I said there is a day function, and this schema will read day on day. So going directly to the block time, you can see our inserted PCR over here. Okay, so you can go to the process and you can see how our rule was read. Rule itself not reading. Okay, we bifurcated for 3. Here means again there will be use of parameter 2 or 1. We have to change the function also. We'll do one thing. As of now, I will put this as star, because if we are bifurcating basing on the PCR grouping, we have to change the function again to RTIP, then only it will work. Because we are using ACTAV function, so we should not bifurcate basing on these two things. If you are bifurcating with this thing, you have to write a different logic. See, if something was not matched here, what happened here is whatever 3 we are giving, if you are giving 3, there should be, there are, when I explain the schema, so here the parameter, if you have to change. If you put something or there in the parameter, if you are using this function, it won't allow. So we'll come back to this parameter assigning in the next class. So as of now, these are the standard things which we will assign. Okay, so what it will happen, it will generate this time type as per the rule which we have written, HRS is equal to 12, and it should add to the day balance table with a time type called Z901, which we have given in the configuration. So after that we have a CUMET function. If you go to input, see every function and everything, it will have many times input, process and output. So if you see the PCR which we have written here with this function, there is no input and output, but our rule will process. So after that, there will be a TES table, whatever the process was done, it will store temporarily in the TES table with the relevant time type. Right, with this 12. So this will be updated to a table. As I discussed about 2 tables we are going to discuss, that is month balance table and a day balance table. So ZES is given by SAP for day balance table, and Salado is the table given for month balance table. So we are working on ZES day balance table. It will store the day number with the time type. Okay, while you are going to Salado table, there won't be any day number. It will be for the particular period. That is all the difference between Salado and day balance table. Right. So what it had done, our on the first of month, the time type and leave was generated with number 12.
Krishna, this 12 is number of hours or days?
Still we don't know. It's number.
Okay.
Still we didn't done anything. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Right? It can be anything. So in the configuration, there is a function I said, the standard function given by SAP, that is quota function. So again, it will take as this ZJs as input. So this 12 hours is there, and whatever the generation rule we have written is here. That is our configuration table, if you remember. So if you see the days from where it is coming, it is from configuration. Shweta, you got it?
Yeah, Krishna, Amit here. Krishna, I have a doubt over here. Now we have inputted the 12 days, or as you mentioned, it's generated
12
at
number.
12 days. Yeah, 12 number. So this has been generated at the initial level of the employee has been hired, or it has been generated whenever we have going to run the RPQT time 00, or in short, if you say PT60.
This number, when it is generating, is whenever your PCR will run, then only it will run, right? So whenever
Okay.
you
So
run the time
for
evaluation, only it will run.
Okay, so for further clarification, if I would say, for this month I have a PS. If for this month I'm running it, okay, at the initial point, so I'm getting 12 days as a leave quota. Okay, so next month when I'm going to run, so again plus 12 is going to be added for this month. That will be 12 plus 12 is equal to 24.
That depends. If client requires like that, we can do that. If client don't require that, we can do that. Then see, we are not working on client. As of now, I am explaining how it will generate. Right?
Okay.
Once you are aware that if this time type is generating, the quota was generating. If you are clear up to that, then I will tell you when the time type should generate. Let us say end of the month, or starting of the month, or end of the year, or starting of the year. Whatever you want, you can write your
Okay,
logic
got your
as per
point.
the
Got your
client
point.
requirement. So here I am telling the very basics because
Yep,
everybody is
got it. I got it.
asking that they are confused on this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Krishna. Thanks for clarification.
the days or hours, whatever you require, this will come from your configuration part. So we push 12 and we define the 12 as days in the configuration. Right? Let us say, yeah.
Base entitlement, is it?
Yeah, there are three, four, I think two places, right? You will mention hours or days in the configuration. One is base entitlement. There is another table also. If you go to the configuration steps, you can see.
Krishna, but in base entitlement, we assign this time type under day balance. That means it is days. Am I correct
No,
or
wrong.
okay?
So we'll go back to the configuration. I think people who knows all the configuration correctly, I think you have to listen again because these are the initial classes. Once everybody is in sync with PCR, I think it will be good to understand. So here we will start doing the configuration. When you create the quota. So here you have mentioned days. You have the option
Okay.
days and hours. The first thing. So it will come to your state-based entitlement table, whatever we are creating. So here it is not modifiable. The days already come, or here for this, right? So if you there is another table, I think deduction rule. Even I didn't remember exactly where we will do this, but see here also you have an option over here, right?
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
all the configuration should be in sync. There if you assign a, from there it came days, and here if you put hours, it won't be the right one. Even it won't accept also, right? So likewise,
Okay.
we will mention days or space. So in the time evaluation, see, time evaluation when you will do all the configuration. So end leave client is asking, it should be these many days we have to generate, right? Then you will go, you will maintain constant. That all you maintain, that will be days. You have to think like that. So the time type, the number will come, it will store to a constant, then it will come to a time type, then the number will be pushing into the quota type. Based on the configuration, it becomes days, right?
Okay.
Whenever you are writing the logic, you know what is the things client required. Based on that, you have to build the logic.
I just got confused with the operation HRS.
Still, still
No,
you are
now,
confused.
now, uh, no, it's okay. Please proceed, Krishna. Let's not
Nothing.
stick.
See, HRS is a field where the number will store temporarily. It won't store anything permanently. Okay. Within the lines, HRS is equal to, we will give. See, it is a number. It can be a number. It can be a amount, or it can be anything. But
Oh,
in time management, there is only one field which we can store is HRS.
okay,
We can treat it as anything,
okay, sure.
right? So this is the configuration really. So whenever you are doing configuration is also very important. So it won't allow you to run the time evaluation if configuration is not correct. So make sure you are working more on configuration as well when you are working initially on PCRs and schemas. So this is the rule which was generated. We got the days here. In the table we have put it as increase. I explained no generation, increase and replace. So that is why this number it is showing as increase, and these are the validity periods which are everything here is coming from configuration. Okay, the transfer time you have put it in daily in the generation rule. That is why the date of transfer is coming here. So everything is worked over here. So our output will be generated like this. If you do a live run, it will generate the quota. Today now I am means I won't do the live run because it's not the right thing to write the rule, because as somebody asked previously, I think Amit. So if you see whatever logic we have written is wrong. Again, if you go to the second day, again it will generate another 12. So here what we have written is daily we are generating 12 leaves for the employee. So if you go to the month end, it will be 12 for every day. Right. This is the quota table actually, the first one. So see, for 30 days into 12, the total amount it is generating. If you do a live run, the employee will get 360 in his time quota. Again, we will delete and all this stuff. Right? Okay, so tomorrow what we will do is I am not going to explain this, that function also today. From tomorrow we will start that. Which one? Yesterday who were there in the class, I explained how to run the PCR only on the last day of the thing. There are two options. One, we can write something in schema, or we can write it in PCR. So those things I will start from tomorrow. Yep. Yep. Many, I saw many projects which was implemented. I went to many support projects. what they will do is, somebody knows only 511K, how to call or how to use that. So let us say client is telling there is 100 bugs, they don't bother to maintain in 511K. They will maintain 100 and they will call to the PCR. It won't affect, but SAP had given like that. If it is a currency number you want to maintain somewhere, you can maintain in 511P and 511K. But see, if you follow the SAP, it is okay. If you are not following also, then also it is okay. Right? Generally, client, see what client will expect, he will expect the output. Okay. If somebody is, verifying your talent, let us say if they went for an interview to SAP Labs, they will check all these things, what to do, what should not do, what SAP is telling, what you are telling. So it will kill our career. Okay.
Krishna,
So
these time types are used only to generate quotas, or we use in other scenarios?
many scenarios. See, that's what I am telling here. We created a single time type. This is the first class.
Okay.
Okay, throughout the time evaluation, we will work on time types, which is related to month balance, okay, transfer to period, and how we are stopping. What is the use of, these things? Why I am putting one in the first place? Why I am not putting one in the second place? That is period balance.
Okay.
Those I can explain you what it was doing when we work on that particular scenario.
Okay.
Okay. See, our class should be more practical than theoretical. Okay, I believe if we work on scenario, if we do something, if you process that, if you see the output, then if I analyze something, it will be clear for you. Right?
Okay, Krishna.
I will go slowly, but whenever the scenarios comes, I will explain each and everything.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from anybody? So we have only one person missed for this class. I think Sagar. I think he is also available from tomorrow. So from tomorrow we'll continue. Changing the same PCR. So I'm just remembering you. Just remember what I explained today. So only three things. Only that is PCR we have written. There is UMBT function which is updating. There is a quota function which is generating the quota. Okay. So whenever you change the PCR, what we have written here, the same thing it will update and it will generate the quota. So now from tomorrow, we are going to change this PCR, modify the logic within the PCR. So modifying the logic, how it is going to work and what the quota number is generated. Right? So just go through these things. If you have server access already got with you, go and try in your server access. I think Chaitanya is a bit busy today. Shweta, you got the access or not?
No, Krishna. I didn't
No,
get
I think Chaitanya was a bit busy today. Maybe by tomorrow you will get.
Okay,
right?
no problem. Yeah.
I will make sure that by tomorrow, by lunchtime you will get.
Okay.
Before coming to the session, you just copy the schema, whatever I done. You just blindly, even if you are not confident, just blindly do those things and run the things,
Okay.
and then
Krishna,
come
one
back to
more
the
thing.
technical.
Whatever we are creating, are you going to delete or it will be there?
This is the IDX server. Okay, from past 3 months the data is there.
Okay. No,
But let
only
us
for
say
our
if our
classes.
it
Our
will be
classes.
there.
Okay, fine.
It will be there. Okay. So what can happen now if somebody have done something wrong in the system and system is running, it's not running. What they will do is they will refresh the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's not a productive system, right? It's a practice system. It was given to n number of people.
Yeah.
So, but we can't believe this as a productive system. So the data can be, you know,
Yeah.
but from past 3 4 months, the data is constant. Before that, they done the, this one. After that, I have done, I have to do all the configuration again.
Okay.
Even it is, first target is for me only. I have to work more than.
Okay. Just for my reference, whatever we do, I just wanted to take screenshots
Yes,
like
yes.
how you
It
suggested it.
won't happen in 1 or 2 days. Generally, they will take this action, for 1 year. Yearly once they will do this. I think.
Okay. Okay. No
Okay,
problem.
and they will intimate me many times. So if something was happening, I will intimate you.
Okay.
Right? So that's
Krishna,
all for that.
Tirumurugan.
Yes, yes, Thiru.
Yeah, a small request actually. Before
Yeah.
starting PCR writing, if you explain the logics in Excel sheet or somewhere, it will be better to understand more while writing PCR. It will be rectify a lot of doubts. Actually, where
Yes,
it is
yes.
fetching, how it is fetching.
I will do the same thing.
Yeah.
Generally, I will open an Excel, then only I will explain. But
Okay.
here we have written no logic actually.
Yeah, yeah. I know that. I know
Okay.
that. Now,
Only
before.
two lines.
Yeah, yeah. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, let us say if we are building some logic,
Yeah.
say from quota calculation, if you are doing,
Yeah.
pro rata and all this stuff, then I will come and I will put into Excel. That is my style actually. You don't worry.
Okay, fine, great. Thank you,
Right?
thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
And Krishna, one more doubt.
Yeah.
While creating PCR, you are giving 4 stars, right? Before
Hmm.
starting operation writing, you are
Yes.
giving 4 star. Whether it is a wage type, we can give the wage type. If it is like
No,
time
no.
type,
It
we
is
give time type. Is
no,
it?
no. In the characteristics, we are mentioning this PCR is specified for time evaluation, right?
Okay.
So it is
Okay.
a time type only. There is no concept of waste type in time evaluation.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I know that. Say that 4 digit star actually.
Uh,
What it means actually? What does it mean?
Irrelevant of any time type, the rule
Mm-hmm.
will work. For all time types, it will work.
Okay, fine. We are not,
Okay.
specifically writing, so
We
that
are
you are.
not specifically writing for particular time type.
Okay.
Right? If you want to write something specifically to a particular time type, then you can bifurcate that. We are going to work. Don't worry.
Okay, fine. Okay, great.
Okay. When you,
Okay.
that's what I'm telling you. Everybody are very, uh, enthusiastic to learn the things. Even I know,
Yeah.
but only you will understand when I will explain with a scenario.
Yes, yes.
It won't come to your mind if I explain something, and if I provide you, 1,000 pages of document to you.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, it's a work. Whenever the scenario will come, I will explain this is the client scenario. That is why we are bifurcating based on time type or bifurcating on, so on so thing. Even PCR grouping, what will work, that also I will.
Okay, Krishna. Thank you. Thank
No
you.
worries, I will explain everything. We'll meet
Yeah.
tomorrow at the
Yeah.
same time. Okay.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you. See you guys tomorrow 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow.
Thank
It
you,
was a
Krishna.
good session today.